That's how they do it in Canada then, eh? 8 dudes on one.
Don't tempt me with a good time.
All right. Hey.
Hey.
Hey. How are you now?
Oh, good, and you?
Oh, not so bad. It's time to get on with the season 9 recap. That's what we're here for, right?
Yeah. You know, until season 10 finally gets here.
Yeah, I mean, they're not going to start filming that until 2 months from now, right? Something like that. Yeah. Well, so before we start getting into all that was season 9, just wanted to kind of
talk about us,
yes. Because that is why we're here. Right?
Totally.
So, season 9, we had a pretty good season 9 as a show. We went over 100,000 downloads.
So cool.
Not just for the season. I mean, overall. We hit that part way through the season, but
hi, if there's new people out there, hi.
And yeah, lots of good folks listen to us. We're having good times, and hopefully,
making some friendships that'll last forever.
Friendships forever, or something like that.
Maybe there's probably some saying somewhere, friendships made in the apocalypse, or
yeah,
I don't know,
something like
this one.
We got some we've got some new friends. We've still got our old friends. We've got our Patreon friends who have been very kind to us, and we'd like to give them all a shout out. And again, and I've made some updates to our Patreon, how that's all structured and everything like that. So check us out, patreon.com/howareyounowpod. So I'm just going to read these off quickly, saying thank you to all of you. Adrian Beck Oliver, John Keeney, Tricia C., Bill McCarthy, Deanna, Samuel Wise, Heather Beebe, John Primo Jr., Woody Meacham, Aaron Schoen, Thomas Kennedy, Blaine Stewart, Jason Higbee, Blue-Eyed Devil, Vegas Matt, Shane Winsma, Anthony, the Pie Guy, Dennis Guggen, we love you, Dennis, Mitch Cole, Shanna Sawatsky, awesome.
Hi, awesome.
Reagan Sicard,
hi, Reagan.
Heidi.
Hi, Heidi.
Heidi. Renee Encarnacion.
Hey, Renee.
And Monica McCoy. So
and all of the rest of you that I didn't say hey personally to, call me.
Yeah, you can always call us at 304-50 Ferda and leave us a voice message or any of that kind of stuff. Because we like to have some voicemails, and Tiara likes her dad jokes.
I do.
So,
and when we our social medias, I really like all the memes that you share with me. Totally makes my day.
She's meme-tastic.
That's my love language. It's my love language.
Yeah, and we're still doing cosplay. We did have a couple of different cosplays.
I love this one though.
So we've got one that's an Animal Crossing cosplay.
So great.
It's they've set up the produce stand and it's adorable. And I totally neglected to put the name of the person on there. I don't know why I forgot that, but give me 2 shakes while I look that one up, because I know I have it here.
1 shake, 2 shakes.
There we go. Trisha Como.
I wonder if that's Trisha C. and from our Patreon.
Probably so. Could very well be. Did an adorable little Animal Crossing crossplay. And then we've got a new buddy over on TikTok. JK I'm Down, also known as the Friendly Sasquatch, has done some cool TikTok duets with me, and one of those has been submitted for for the cosplay contest, which you know what, I think you both deserve it.
Absolutely.
So,
hell yeah.
we'll be reaching out to you and get you some cool How Are You Now merch if you're into that.
Yay. You get to give away free shit.
So let's talk about us. Let's talk about us, baby. Let's talk about you and me.
He's doing his best to make me laugh today, everybody. So I apologize for absolutely all of it, but I need it. So,
Twitter has, I think we've had the biggest growth. Well, I can't really say. TikTok has had the biggest growth.
Because you just started it.
But, anyway,
100% growth.
Twitter, we 29% growth. We're up to 3,578. We may be a couple more even today than when I actually wrote all this up. Not so big growth on everything else, but some. Facebook, we've gone up 3%, 2,219 followers. Instagram, 790 followers, 8%. And we are currently, I think, at 39 followers on TikTok. So that's awesome. Let's go over some stats real quick. So on Apple Podcasts, in the after show category, we've our rankings in the last month have hit in the US 48, Canada 38, Australia 124, I almost said Green Bay, Great Britain 187, Finland 15. We're in the United Arab Emirates. We're at number 27.
Hi.
Singapore, we're number 10.
Hi.
And South Africa 32.
Oh man, all of these places I want to go someday.
And then Chartable, it's just we're in the TV and film category. In the US, we're ranked 74, and globally 99.
Wow.
So
all right.
Yeah. And so yeah, that's
really cool.
Yeah. I mean, we've been higher, we've been lower, but that's kind of where we're hanging at this point in time. So
well, and considering, there was kind of a bit of a break between season 8 and season 9.
Uh-huh.
I think, it's just nice that so many people have discovered Letterkenny in the apocalypse, and the show itself has really kind of taken off everywhere. So it doesn't surprise me that people are searching out Letterkenny stuff of any kind right now, just because it's really like people are still discovering it every day, which is fucking cool. So
extremely cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you just wait?
What?
It's fucking cool.
That's fucking cool.
Thank you. It's better.
Hype. Speaking of hype, we want to give a big thanks to Dan Harris for joining us for his episode Mitzvah that he wrote with, he joined us. Renee Encarnacion got him to join us, and that was really cool having him on for that episode. We got to chat about his Letterkenny experience, and we'll be talking about that once we get to that episode in the recap here. Trevor, as always, is a pleasure. Brilliant and irreverent as he is, and he makes us better, I think. So,
I love hanging out with Trevor.
Trevor is so fun, and
someday I will sing karaoke with that person. It's on a bucket list. It might be in another country because they might not be able to go to places anymore. I don't know,
once I think maybe once he's able to get the vaccine and can go back home and not have to spend 2 weeks in a Canadian hotel where he has to pay thousands of dollars.
Right.
I think that was so. I think he's enjoying himself in Macedonia right now. He's he's no longer. Well, that's where he last was that I noticed. He went from Albania to Macedonia. I think that's where he was last I checked. But yeah, we
check out his Insta.
I mean, he has had the COVID already. And hopefully that has built up some antibodies, and then as well as if he gets the Fauci ouchie, as we like to say here in the States, because
I got my first Fauci ouchie.
So yeah, we love having him on because he's a good friend. He's a good guy, and he's always a blast to hang out with. Also, bands. We want to thank you, all you independent bands that have brought your music to us and let us play you and get you some recognition. You're brilliant. No One Sphere, Neostem, Light the Lamp with your new stuff that's out. Hard Money Saints, our old friends, Flex Decibel, The Highway Thieves. Wonderful, wonderful music. We love it, and we are hoping for more in the future. And if you want to, if you're an independent band, again, like we've said, if you're an independent band and you'd like to share your music with us, like we just had up at the top here, we had Goon Squad from Light the Lamp, because we love those guys. And Hockey Punk, come on, what's more fitting for a Letterkenny show?
Right?
Hosts at howareyounowpod.com or howareyounowpod at gmail.com will also get to us. So send us your band info. We'd love to chat with you about that. Anything else you think we should bring up at the top of the show before we start recapping the episodes?
You can reach us at hosts at howareyounowpod.com
Right.
if you want to join us sometime, or
Yeah.
you can
go out on our if you want to guest host with us, go out on our Patreon, and I can't remember the level that particular one is at for being a guest host, but we have lots of options on there. Whether if you just want to spend $1 a month just to say, hey, we love you guys, and we'll give you a shout out, to all the way up if you have something you'd like to promote, you want to pay us money to do a minute long promotion on our show, we'll be happy to do that as well. So that's all out on there. So from just a shout out to guest hosting to promotion, so we're there.
Also, kind of, I know that we're followed by a lot of other podcasts.
Yes.
It'd be really cool to maybe do some collaboration with each other. If you have a podcast and you want to do a 30-second promo or something,
Yeah.
hit us up and we'll do a promo exchange.
Promo swap. We love it.
Yeah.
So let's get down to business.
I'm not gonna keep going with that one right now.
All right. So episode 1, American Buck and Doe of
Fight.
yeah.
Fight. That we didn't get to see the fight with Dirks that we wanted to see, but
No.
we did get to see the attempted payback.
Yeah.
Which was awesome.
From the musclehead that came in wanting to settle the score. Didn't quite work out the way that they'd hoped.
Not so much.
So anyway, in that episode, our guest was Mitch Cole, also a Patreon patron. No One Sphere was the band for that episode. The quote, the top rated quote for this episode was,
I feel like Mrs. McMurray's giving me the eyes.
Yeah.
Is that weird?
Nope.
You just mind if I dibs behind?
She's likely already dibsed one of yous, bud.
I feel like Gail would make a man out of me.
Can confirm.
Let's get hammered.
Your terms is acceptables.
yeah, I
confirm.
I can think over these last 9 seasons. I mean, how many times I've thought Gail would make a man out of me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'd make a man out of just about anybody.
Yeah.
So that's Gail. Gail's got
Who
skills.
chose to,
Yeah.
who wanted to be a man in the aftermath, I guess.
Sure. So, and then our clip for this for this season, where because we like to talk about Trevor.
It was back before we knew what was going on with all of the bullshit that he had to deal with.
This was up, and again we talk about it, and yeah. So anyway, so here's the clip from the episode.
I can't wait to talk to him again because I genuinely want to know what the why are you in Albania? Okay. Anyway.
That was my question. What is Trevor Riss doing in Albania? Of all places, it's Albania.
Right? I mean,
Yeah.
no?
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think Albania would have been in my top 20 of places to go visit. I mean,
No.
Maybe it's pretty. Maybe it's really beautiful out there.
it could be.
I don't know. Maybe.
That's kind
Next
of
time you guys talk to him, you're going to have to find out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You hear that, Trevor?
Send us a
We know you listen.
Send us a picturesque postcard. Oh boy!
Don't be shy about sliding into my DMs either, Trevor. Let me know how Albania is.
We know you listen.
Yeah,
I wasn't wrong.
He did listen.
And he replied to us on Twitter. I genuinely look forward to meeting that person in real life.
Yeah.
Once all of this is over.
Yeah. So yeah, great kickoff to the season. We kind of know what happened with Dierks at that point without really seeing what happened. So, and then we get into episode 2, which was our number 2 rated episode. Our buddy Al Grego from
Kids with Problems.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Kids with Problems was episode 2. Our buddy Al Grego from the Produce Stand podcast, the Canadian-based, the other Canadian-based Letterkenny podcast. And I'm on their show when they do their recaps.
I'll be on their show.
Yeah. And had a great time hanging out with Al. The band for that episode was Neostem. The quote from that episode is what, I think it's a good life lesson.
Here's what I want you to do. I want you to take what you've learned today and fuck off.
Very good lesson.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
I can't say that for the kids that I work with, but sometimes I want to. I won't lie.
Yeah.
Oh God.
At the end of the day. So then we get into. Then, there was a little discussion that we had. This was about something that they were discussing in the open. About a little bit about
I forgot about that.
Yeah, here it is.
More like a didgeridoo.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah. Ripping didge. She was ripping didge as she's walking through town.
I imagine it sounded a bit more like this.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, and I the grooming
bottle, by the way.
That was not my wife. My wife. But so, do you have a thought of what this?
I'll agree. His made a lot of sense because of the sound that you would have just in a cave. We're actually talking about a cave. You've got that kind of low. That low tone, like flying across the lips of a bottle. And if we're adding a whistle to it, it would absolutely be like, no, not like. Yes. Oh my God.
So like that with
I love it when you make me explain something uncomfortable because I can just hear my voice going, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
Just birthing them.
I would never be able to be on a show like Letterkenny because I can't with a straight face say a lot of the things that they say in the show.
Well, I mean, if you think about, because going back to our interview with like Jess Salguero talking about how she just couldn't keep a straight face during that entire going between her and Katie,
and that's what started the looking up and away.
I mean, can I say Katie?
Kelly.
I guess I'm just used to saying Katie over and over from so many seasons. But yeah, between Jess and Kelly, that just thinking about, I wish there had been more outtakes because the bloopers that they come up with at the end of each season are always hilarious.
I feel like they could make what was it? Just read something that when they filmed Mrs. Doubtfire, Robin Williams ad-libbed so much that they could make an R-rated version or an NC-17 rated version of Mrs. Doubtfire. And I'm like, I can see that with Letterkenny, with some of the behind-the-scenes stuff that they could keep going.
Oh my God. Yeah, I mean, especially between stuff that Gail comes up with and the McMurrays come up with. I mean, could you imagine had the scene from the talent show episode continued on, had Wayne not buzzed them,
Yeah, I know exactly what we would have seen.
And I would have kept watching.
I can't decide if I'm probably probably. Yeah.
So, anyway, from there we go into episode 3, Scorched Earth,
Yes.
which was the number 1 rated episode.
Awesome.
Our guests, Tim and John from the Armbar Audio Podcast.
Hi guys, so much fun.
Yeah, lots of fun with those guys. Band Light the Lamp, love you, those guys as well. The quote from this episode, it's too classic. I mean,
Especially for a descendant.
yeah. Considering that, Playfair is a descendant. So
The Little Mermaid.
She's not that little. Besides, Prince Eric would never smash a mermaid that was too little. Not the Prince Eric I know.
Not the Prince Eric.
not the Prince Eric I know.
Wait, now, who did he play again?
He plays, I don't know the name of the character, but he plays Gaston's son.
Gaston's son. Okay.
Yeah.
So just trying to imagine how they would know each other. Gaston. Do you know who Mom was?
No.
Okay. So
No.
it wasn't.
I have no idea.
I'm going to have to watch Descendants just so I can keep some of this shit.
I think it's Descendants 2. I don't think he was.
Descendants 2.
I
You're
don't think he was in
he
the
was
first.
in the second one.
Yeah, he was in the third one.
And the third? Okay.
Yeah, pretty sure.
I remember the second one because Natalie.
Yeah.
I don't remember much else about it. I'm old.
So our clip from that episode was we had a little chat about dairy. So dairy.
Derry needs to change his barn clothes.
So you both want to fight dairy. Okay.
You have so much problems getting girls throughout this entirety of the series, and you can't figure out why. Get out of those stinky ass barn clothes, man.
Oh my god, he had a fucking supermodel and he was still wearing the fucking barn clothes. Come on.
And he's not bad looking.
No, he's not.
No, he stinks.
Yeah. Sounds like a barn.
So you fighting him too, or
I'm gonna fur to him.
you're gonna fur?
I'm
Okay.
gonna fur to him.
All right.
Fuck that, I'm fighting him. and after I knock him out, I'm putting new clothes on him.
That's kind of like the inverse of what would happen if somebody got knocked out. Mm-hmm. He's getting new clothes put on. The queer eye guys come in there and give him a makeover while he's knocked out.
I mean, it's not a bad idea.
Oh, dairy. So
because he's not a bad looking guy.
No, not at all.
He's naive, which is adorable to a lot of women. He's willing to try hard and is slowly learning, and he just needs to meet the right kind of woman who has the patience to put up with the smell and the naivete to get to a point where
he needs a woman who's going to give him some direction.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And which just made my brain go, Derry's a sub, isn't he?
Oh, yeah, totally. He is. Yeah. I mean, come on. If you think about it, and in fact, we're going to get into that in a little bit, just about how dairy, in this, it's in the sleepover episode, that we'll get into that. But yeah, dairy is, he's, totally a sub. Yeah, without a doubt. Next episode.
Such confidence. I love it.
Next episode, episode 4, Mitzvah, with our guest Renee Encarnacion and special guest Dan Harris, who wrote the episode. Our band, the Hard Money Saints, our good buddies Jack Rainwater and the boys from Hard Money Saints. And this was probably my favorite quote as well, just because of the thought that that Riley puts behind what could happen.
Growing up, Jewish girls go to sleepaway summer camp every summer where they practice giving blowies for 2 months.
Oh, you could get really good at blowies on a program of that kind.
You'd be Blowy Sevigny. Or Blowy Deschanel.
David Blowy.
Yes.
It's just like he was so it wasn't about the how it was more about the program was that's a really good program.
Right?
His brain just goes directly to sports. Sports
but also
training.
getting really good blowies.
Oh yeah.
From Jewish girls.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
You wouldn't know anything about that.
No. Jewish girl summer camp. Should we go?
We should go.
Okay.
Okay.
And so, and then when I handed in Jared my draft, he had added in the other "should we goes" throughout the scenes.
You thought it was funny.
And
Awesome.
then and then he'd sent it back because in the first draft he really liked that part and he laughed a lot at that, and so he expanded on it, which was a great idea. And so when he sent it back, it said there's a shortage of ninjas in China, and so I told Jared I was like just so you know, I don't know if you did this on purpose because Riley and Jonesy are idiots,
Right? Exactly.
But ninjas hail from Japan,
Right?
And he was like, no, that's on purpose. They're dumb and they're dumb. They wouldn't know that.
Oh, that's perfect.
Should we go?
We should go.
We should go. Yeah, that hanging out with Dan. I mean, yeah. Anytime we get a chance to hang out with somebody who, especially like whether it's Trevor or Dan, those who the folks that I've chatted who are behind the scenes. I mean, even Patrick, who's been behind the scenes. It's always kind of cool getting that behind the scenes look at things. I think it gives you some flavor of what's going on, how they are. I mean, they're a family. I mean, they definitely seem like a family there.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, and which I think is what makes this show so great. So we jump to episode 5, Sleepover with our buddy Awesome.
It's probably probably my favorite of this season. I think
it was great episode.
It was just adorable.
It was.
Clever.
Didn't get a lot of quotes out of it, but the one that we real quick, the band Flexidecibel was our band for that episode. The clip for this episode came at a point where Derry, Katie, and Wayne are playing Monopoly.
Oh yeah.
All 4 railroads.
Good buddy. Good buddy. Good buddy. Derry, look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Don't do it, Derry.
For what?
Cash.
Derry, don't do it. How much?
200, Super Chief.
You out of your fucking mind?
I need cash.
And that's how you know Derry is a sub.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
He definitely respects Wayne, but Katie wrapped around that finger.
Oh yeah. That's kind of that's part of why I'm like wondering if eventually the two of them are going to drift toward each other.
Yeah.
And I know that's a theory that people have, and
I have
one
of the
that I talked about this episode.
Yeah, because the theory about was
that he was going to say Katie until she woke up. Mm-hmm.
Could be. I mean, you never know. At least we don't know in this season anyway.
True story.
So the other thing about this episode that was really unique was this. We hear something from the background that this will be the first time we've ever heard in Letterkenny. Coffee, tea, Sega! From Connor and Darian in the background. So
the first words uttered by them.
These are the first words from our silent skids.
It's perfect line too.
Yeah.
Like we didn't realize it was them until several times through.
Yeah.
Watching that scene.
It was, such. I mean, it sounds like something that either that Roald probably would have said.
Makes sense. They're all one mind, kind of.
the hive skid mind. It just was so shocking.
And there was no fanfare. Nobody noticed it.
Right. It was not brought up anywhere. I mean, it was
Patrick didn't say anything either.
No,
which I
nobody
thought was
said
awesome.
anything.
Like they were like, who's going to be the first person? It's like an Easter egg,
It was. So
we found it.
This will be a bit
Is it a key?
Bit of trivia for everybody. So yeah, I think that's cool. And I'm kind of curious if they'll have if that's the plan for, maybe they'll have a line
each randomly,
just in upcoming, in one episodes and each upcoming season that we'll get to hear from them. Then the next episode 6, Breastaurant, which our guest Trevor Risk, who wrote the episode, the band the Highway Thieves, and our quote for this episode was, about restaurants.
I'm just thinking it sounds a little bit queer.
Easy, Tiger.
That you would have to sell the gay community on Hooters.
Sell? Sold?
Huh? Gay dudes love tits. Is that right?
Most of us, yeah.
Well, to be fair.
To be fair.
To be fair. It's hard to imagine anyone not liking them, no matter which ways you point your sexual compass.
So you guys love tits as much as you love dinks?
Fuck no. We're straight guy gay.
Strictly guy gay for clarification.
Getting good and gay and guy gas.
Smashing silly ass.
Getting kinky with the dinky.
Getting stinky with the dinky.
In sync with dink.
Is that right? But you also love tits.
What's not to love?
Yeah, lots of gay dudes secretly love tits. Big, bouncy, fun-loving, party time tits.
Big old buoyant, jubbly, sloppy egg yolk knobs.
Bounce those snake-eyed Humpty dumplings over here, honey. Let's have a good one.
Talking Bobsy twin baby thumpers, rubber baby buggy bumpers.
Is that right?
I mean, most of my 20s was spent in gay bars, so.
Well, and yeah. I love how Wayne was just so really. Is that right?
But you're gay.
How does this work? So yeah, hilarious. That was such a great episode, and and
it's hilarious.
The whole part about the mashups, which then we got to chat with Trevor about, and Tiara brought some to the table.
Very earnestly. So let's.
I have always loved mashups.
Let's hear you, Tiara. Let's hear what you got for us.
All right. A perfect circle jerks.
Yes. I like the circle jerks.
I like the way this is going. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like the circle jerks because it was always on. I like the circle jerks because it was always on like the Columbia House list. You know, like your mom, and you would get the Columbia House list, and she'd be like, "Skinny puppy, what's that? Oh my god." I don't like a skinny puppy. I like a fat puppy. And then, circle jerks would be like, "What's a circle jerk?" And you have to tell your mom because you'd have to get one. You'd spend 1/9 of a penny on a circle jerk CD, and you'd have to tell your mom what it is. So
yeah.
One in so far, and I'm already behind you.
Okay. I impressed him.
Yeah, you did. And that was not the only one. So go listen to that episode. There's lots more.
It was fun. That was a lot of fun.
That was a lot of fun.
Usually when you give me like challenges like that, I can't do it because my brain doesn't think that way. But somehow mashups were like the perfect storm of how my brain works.
If I can send you memes about puppies on TikTok, and mashups on YouTube, I think I can keep you fairly happy. For the most part.
Yeah. So. Sprinkle in a little mental health and some true crime.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
There you go. I'm not so good with the true crime, but yeah.
That's what I watch when you're not in the room.
Yeah, there you go. Do you have to take notes about that though? We don't do it.
Oh no! See, I watch those so many times that it's all up here, baby.
Oh, okay.
I mean, half the time we're switching channels randomly, and I'll come across one of the many channels, and I'll watch it for like 5 minutes. I'll be like, "Oh, it's this case." Like I know which case they're talking about, even though I know I've never seen this episode before.
Well, yeah, it's funny because I've heard you listen to episodes of those a time or two, and I'm like, oh, is this that one that you were watching about the da-da-da? And you're like, hang on. Oh yeah, that is this one. So if I've heard it, I know it's something you've probably watched 8 or 10 times.
Probably, yeah. It's my background noise.
Yeah. So season finale was episode 7, Indian NRG.
I don't think that's PC, bro.
But yeah, they said it.
Yeah.
They said it with our buddy Danielle Chip Lehman. Chip. I'm gonna have to reach out, find a way to reach out to Shannon Sharp, and have them go Chip.
Yes,
and get that on a recording. I wonder if he's on Cameo. I bet I could get him to do it. I would totally do that. Anyway, from Totally Offsides podcast. And again, band Light the Lamp, who they premiered their new song on that episode, which will also be on this episode. And the number one quote from this episode was, of course,
"Hey! Learn how to fucking drive!"
It was that episode. Should we go?
Yeah, because you should learn how to fucking drive. And then so this episode, and I think that's kind of going to be about once we're done here talking about, we're going to kind of get into what all that means. But the DNA test that that got botched, and we talked a bit about what that could possibly mean. Maybe now we don't know how old Shorzy is.
True.
And we know that Shorzy has been with both Riley and Jonesy's moms.
True.
Could Shorzy?
That's the sound
Daddy.
of catching on. But it still wouldn't be 100% match between the three of them. Like,
No.
I only have like a 23% match with
true.
my mother, which is my sister, which is weird. But I thought it would be like at least half.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, but I think that's an interesting thought. that Shorzy can.
It's a terrible thought. I don't want to think it. I sometimes love hearing old clips because then I'm like, oh, that's where I caught on.
Oh, I see where he's going. Yeah. So, I mean, and it was pointed out, yes, Shorzy was on the juniors team with Riley and Jonesy.
Oh, okay.
And so, yeah, no, he's not the father, but
Of them.
Of them. I mean, unless, who knows? I mean, there's weirder things with the timeline that's happened in this show. So,
Well, the timey-wimey?
it's not
That's
good.
a different show.
Yeah. Jeremy Bearimy, also a different show.
Oh, Jeremy Bearimy.
So that's all the episodes. So let's talk about the thoughts for the end of this season. So, so at the end of this, there was the rift between Tanis and her Indian NRG versus the Bro Dude folks. So, and that, which kind of, came from two things. Number one, Indian NRG's logo looking like the Bro Dude logo, but also from the DNA test. So how do you see that part of it playing out?
Well, I don't know. That's really interesting. Like, I feel like, well, hopefully they will resubmit DNA and find out, oh no, it was true. So they get the title back, but then they're going to have to fight for it somehow before they make that evident.
Yeah.
I don't think that particular issue would bother Tanis so much because the kids on the res are making her money already by buying and drinking it.
True.
And, all she has to do is keep Bro Dude off the land and she's got kind of the monopoly there.
Yeah. I mean, but now that she's just bought the team, that's where she's running into a problem.
Yeah.
So, we got Frankie JJ trying to swipe the trophy back for the Three Rivers to take it back to Newfoundland.
Which is terrible that we're watching a show based in Newfoundland right now, and every time someone says something,
sook.
Well, there's certain things.
Yeah.
But there was a JJ, and I'm like, oh, is he from Three Rivers?
It's a Three Rivers. Yeah. Yeah, go check out Republic of Doyle. It's hilarious. It's
tropey. It's Canada's version of Psych. But I liked Psych, and I like this despite the tropey stuff. There are a few things that kind of annoy me, but we're not doing a podcast about that show.
We are not. But it's
but I like it.
It's definitely worth the watch. It's ending on Netflix this month in March, but is also on Amazon Prime if you happen to have that. So anyway, give it a watch. It's we support our Canadian actors, and
almost every Canadian show that I've started watching, I've ended up enjoying immensely.
I mean, so far we haven't seen any Letterkenny actors on the show. However, we do know that there are Letterkenny actors who have been on the show. So I'm looking forward to seeing them when they pop up. And from what Patrick's told us, Alan who plays Jake on the show is a really good guy. So it's my guess is that every Canadian actor is good.
There's probably like one really terrible Canadian actor, and that's why everyone else is like, I'm not that guy.
I will tell. Actually, I did hear one, and
William Shatner.
No, actually,
because I've heard that one.
The one it was, and I'll show you, and you'll probably recognize him. Kim Coates.
Oh yeah, asshole.
Yeah,
all right.
Very prima donna, apparently.
Not surprised.
Yeah, that's which I mean, it's kind of funny because he always plays an asshole. So and
so
usually
he's a method actor.
Yeah, apparently. Yeah,
he's Canada's Jared Leto.
I came across a TikTok that where it was somebody's, because usually it's talk about an instance where you've met a celebrity, and it was good, but this was tell us about a time you met a celebrity and it went really bad, and this was an actress who had to work with him, and apparently he was very much a hardcore prima donna, was expecting everything, blah blah blah, just really one of those. He's just apparently not a good guy from the sounds of it, but he's as far as the antithesis of probably what you would say would be the penultimate Canadian actor, Keanu Reeves, or maybe Ryan Reynolds. Those two are right there up at the top. Yeah. Of the two really good guys that are
the Canadian actors that you would like to live next door to.
Sure.
And be very, very friendly with.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah, I don't think I meant it the same way you did, but okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, you never know. So what do you think's going to come of the DNA tests?
I think it's going to be drawn out, but I'm hoping that eventually it'll be, oh no, they actually were native. Shoresy's just a douchebag. Although I still don't understand. Did he do it on purpose? Did he do it to be funny? Did he misplace there, so he had to hurry up and do two more, or what? Like, what was he thinking? He's obviously pissed off because he tackled Frankie JJ when he tried to walk out with the trophy.
Right.
So I don't think it was intentional to fuck up the team.
It wouldn't seem that way, but you don't never know. I mean,
so we don't know anything about Shoresy except that he's a raging asshole to Riley and Jonesy.
But he cares about the team more than anything else.
Cares about the team, exactly.
So what about Dierks? What do you think?
Fucking hate that guy.
I mean, they put the bro dude hat on him. He's got his arm.
He's an athlete.
He's got his arm in a sling.
They broke his arm during the fight.
Yep.
And he's dating, what's her bucket?
Anik.
Ugh. I hate the both of them.
They deserve each other.
Yeah, they do. Ugh.
Yeah, because I thought, like I said in the episode, is that I thought it was kind of odd that, he's American.
Right.
His character is American.
Yeah.
And yet he's being touted as as a Canadian athlete. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I suppose bro dude.
Sure, there was somewhere that they were going with that. That was supposed to, because usually we would have had 9 and 10 relatively close to each other.
Yeah.
And if it hadn't been for 2020, but anyway,
the year that didn't happen.
No, right? I realized the other day that it's been 18 months since my sister died. And in that time, I've also lost my aunt, my father, and a good friend. And I'm like, how has it been 18 months, first of all? That since all of this, and that encompasses all of the pandemic, and just the last year does not feel like a year.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to explain it.
It's been weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
but let's not do that again for another 100 years.
Let's not do it in 100 years. Can we figure out how to trust science to do its job and not let politics get involved?
Science?
Can we be an actual democratic socialist country, 9/10 of the quote unquote free world?
Yeah.
But whatever.
Anyway.
But Dierks.
So.
I don't know. Fuck him. I mean, don't fuck him. Don't and it ever. No. But you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy.
So, and Marie Fred, what do you think about? I mean, because she popped up right there at the very end.
I
there was
feel
that
like she
little.
knows what's going on, and she's trying to figure out how to. I mean,
She's obviously got a lot of guilt.
oh yeah,
It seems like. She had that last season.
but now her best friend is dating this guy who she knows is terrible, and
Right.
they're obviously doing something to people that, despite what Marie Fred did, she cares about them.
Yeah.
None of them may take her back as a friend because of what she did, but that doesn't mean that she has stopped caring about them and worrying about them. And maybe she knows something. And because the last time she showed up, she was there to tell Wayne that she, saw Dirks.
Yeah.
And so I feel like that's how that's all connected. I don't think that this is, I want you back. Although I think she would definitely go for it.
Oh, yeah.
If that was a possibility.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I don't doubt that at all. I think if Wayne and Rosie broke up, and because of course that wouldn't, because it wouldn't. As long as he's with Rosie, that's never going to happen.
Right.
So if Wayne and Rosie broke up, wow. I could see them writing, trying to write that in, and him getting back. Because he did well. If you think about it, he did get back with Angie for a bit of toe curling in season. What was that, season 2?
They didn't date again. They just slept together.
Yeah, right.
Like, he has no problem with sleeping with his exes as long as everything's on the up and up.
Yeah.
And nothing wrong with that, period.
Well, same thing.
But as long as,
what happened with Tanis.
Right.
Because
exactly.
they realized that they weren't good for each other, but they still
had a little fun
they
together.
had a little toe curling. So a little guessing.
Well, and also, Wayne is very monogamous.
Yeah.
Like, he's uncomfortable, like, really talking about sex even when it's not with his partner.
Yeah.
So, like, when Tanis full on flirted with him when he and Marie Fred were dating, and she like flicked his belt buckle and all that shit, and he was still like, nope, I'm gonna drink beer and go inside. Sorry.
The little belt buckle flick was hot.
It really was.
I don't know why. You never think about shit like that, but the little belt. Oh wow, that
it was a really good flirt maneuver. That's for damn sure.
I'll be in my bunk.
Yep.
And we have a question from Todd Foxcroft at KG Todd on the Tweety about the evolution of McMurray and going from being a piece of shit to drink with the tarp boys tarps off. He was right there with them.
Mm-hmm. I think McMurray is genuinely considers himself a part of the group and a friend to all of them. And I think all of them begrudgingly think of him as a friend. So I think that I think McMurray has finally kind of toned down the assholishness to them. Like, it's not as unthoughtful. That's not the right word, but like, McMurray always seemed to me as somebody who just didn't give a shit about social constructs.
Very tone deaf.
Very, but not just in the way that you mean it, but also like just did not acknowledge that someone else's
social mores
or them being uncomfortable. Like, he doesn't recognize that or care to.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of it is them getting used to him.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't really think, around them, he definitely has toned it down a little bit. Like, you can go back to, what was it? The Ag Hall, not the Ag Hall, the TV show. What do you call it? The
Crack and Ag.
What's it called?
Crack and Ag.
The kind of show it is.
Public access.
Public access. Jesus, that was what was sticking in my head, and I needed to get those words so I could continue with my thought. Fuck this brain sometimes. But like, McMurray, even like, he's getting called an asshole by all these people who are totally just like dogging on him, like just basically telling him this shit to make him feel bad and make him pissed off and try and, get him riled up. And, you're not seeing his friends do much to stop that, but you're not seeing them do it to him anymore.
Yeah.
So, I think he's definitely one of the boys now, but I think he's still like a probationary
well, he's,
member.
he's always going to be he's on the scrap list for sure. So, you need it.
But then again, so are the ostrich fucker and
the Boots and
Ginger. That's what it is. So being on the scrap list does not necessarily mean that you are thought of as being a friend.
Well, he's definitely, he's on the first call scrap list for
Yes.
sure. I mean, Ginger and Boots when necessary.
Right. True.
So
Very true. He's one of the first ones that gets called.
yeah.
He's always there for a fight with his friends.
Right. So yeah, he's always going to be there for a scrap.
But I think it's one of those things too that, Kiso writing for a personality that a lot of people know, somebody like that in some way. Like every one of these characters are exaggerated in their mannerisms and stuff. That's all part of the show. But McMurray is I think the one who's had the biggest growth.
Yeah.
And I like the growth of the rest of them letting him in a little bit.
Yeah.
And Mrs. McMurray.
Yeah.
And I love how fucking just dedicated to each other those two are.
Oh yeah. I was like, going back to American Buckadoo, they were talking about dibs and I'm going to dibs my hubby. So
'Cause I'm married.
Yeah.
And I love him.
So yeah, she's obviously in love with McMurray. So yeah, they have their own special, unique relationship and language and everything. So it's I'm kind of curious because I know a lot of these characters are based off of people that Kiso has come across. So I'm be kind of curious as to know who that person is.
Or that couple is.
Yeah.
Because it's probably some guy that he not hated, but really fucking annoyed him, who had this super hot wife, and nobody could understand why this super hot woman was with this really annoying dude. I've seen that in real life a few times.
Yeah. Well, and the discussion there from there,
or the other way around.
What's funny is the discussion there is always he must have a really huge cock,
right? Which in this case,
5.45 inches.
I mean, completely respectable.
Measuring from underneath.
Completely respectable.
On Boxing Day.
Once a year.
I'm going to put this as a two-part question. Okay. So what would you like to see out of season 10 and what do you expect to see out of season 10? Based off of everything that's happened. So we'll just do a quick recap because you got Gail with Jim Dickens.
I would love to see that continue because I think that Gail, the way that she is in this show, I feel like it's about time that she had a regular partner. And I'm not saying that it's about time she settled down or any of that bullshit, but showing that you can still really like sex and have one
show
person.
Her in a relationship.
Yeah, show her in a relationship. It's not always about fucking this guy or fucking that guy or whatever.
Right.
So I love that.
Yeah. So and then you've got Derry and Bonnie.
I think that ship has sailed.
You think so?
I really
so that's
the sleepover episode, and this is I still have that feeling that Bonnie was his backup when Katie woke up. For years, everybody's been Bonnie McMurray, including Derry. I kind of think I feel like that's a misdirect.
Yeah, I think. Well, in the last couple of seasons, it's been instead of Bonnie McMurray, it's been Bonnie McMurray.
Yeah.
So
right,
it's there's Bonnie. So it's been less.
Also, Stuart liking Bonnie. I didn't see that one coming.
No.
I'm not sure how I feel about that.
That was kind of odd.
She has never liked him or been really nice to him at all.
I can't. Yeah,
maybe he likes that. I don't know.
I mean, then again, going to what your theory about Derry was, maybe it was more about Katie, and he wasn't going to say it in front of Rold. So
There were okay, so
and then Riley and Jonesy show up at Gail's.
but then they get to sleep with Gail.
Right. And they both of them were trying to hook up with Bonnie.
Right.
Because they both
But they've
talked
been
about that.
always kind of trying.
Yeah.
And they made it a thing like, yeah, every once in a while I just check in. And Bonnie's like, it's like clockwork.
Yeah.
And yeah. I love that episode because it was so clever, but really the everybody falling for Bonnie again thing, it feels like a misdirect after all of this time where they have toned down the Bonnie McMurray stuff.
Yeah.
And she's still not actively looking for somebody.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like people's feelings for, like, they're seeing Katie, like, pissed off because she was treated so badly. And now she's, getting frustrated with all these losers that she keeps dating, thinking that, she'll just have a little fun right now and not having a lot of fun. And I think they might have ideas for that.
Okay. All right. So
I also feel like it's about time Katie gets in a good relationship.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I mean, because one of the things is, how in the last episode, how Riley and Jonesy hooked up with Cassie and Tassie because they looked outside of the 100-kilometer range of Letterkenny. So is that what Katie is going to have to do? I mean, that's kind of how she
kind of did. That's when she got the models.
That and how she ended up with Dirks as well.
True. Very true.
So, yeah, it's kind of interesting. So those are your hopes, or what do you expect to see out of season 10?
Those are my hopes.
Okay. So expectations of season.
Expectations. I think the DNA thing is going to get figured out. I think Marie Fred is genuinely trying to help somehow with whatever it is that Dirks and the bro dude people are scheming. I expect a good scrap or 3.
Yeah. I mean, because it's kind of curious how the bro dude lady got her hands on the DNA testing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and so quickly.
The ancestry DNA testing. Yeah. Like, you can't just look that shit up.
So that's kind of, something suspicious about that. So, yeah, I do expect that. I do expect a scrap at the beginning of the season.
I hope it's with Dirks. I want to see that again. I want to see it.
I want to see it. Yeah, because it's funny. I mean, how did he get in there without getting a scrap? I mean, I can't see him getting out without a scrap. So yeah, we'll see. I mean, maybe it's their code that he's got a broken arm, so they won't fight somebody who's broken already. So maybe they'll let Katie beat him up.
I would like that.
just do the Katie kick. As soon as he's bent
over. I want to
over.
see her punch him though too. Ooh, knee him in the face. Kick him. Exactly. He bends over, knee him in the. Ooh, there right in the nose.
Yeah, there you go. Knock that bro dude cap off, fucker. So, so let's talk about Letterkenny Live, because
nothing's been announced still.
Nothing's announced yet, and it's been a full year since they announced that they were going to have to postpone it. So yeah, because we were supposed to be seeing them like this time last year, maybe within a week. So it's I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully it'll be able to keep going. I mean, everybody should be doing the vaccines April, May. So my thoughts are they're going to film in May, and maybe they'll be able to kick off
during the summer. Maybe?
During the summer. That's, I hope that sounds. Granted, they would have to plan for that, and where am I going to, all the schedule. I mean, having been a booker, for a single venue, that's difficult enough on its own. Trying to book a show to go around Canada and the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know I don't know if they got all through their Canada portion of the trip, but they still have a good chunk of the U.S. Tour left to go. So
I would kind of assume that the west coast of Canada too, because why would they do Canada all the way across and then go back to the East Coast.
Yeah, I would think they'd kind of come down because I'm trying to remember because it was Seattle, because it was supposed to be Seattle, then Portland, and then they were going somewhere else from there back north. I think
they go to Vancouver before Seattle, which makes sense to me.
Yeah, yeah, I don't remember
that. To me, when I think of a logical tour, and you're gonna hit several large cities on the West Coast, you wouldn't go. And I've seen bands do this, which cracks me up because when you used to book bands, I would see it.
Yeah.
They would book a night in Seattle, and then they would book a night in Vancouver, BC, and then have a night in Portland. And not realizing that if they had done Vancouver to Seattle to Portland, they would actually be going in a straight line instead of going back and forth and having to cross the border essentially twice.
Yeah, but Vancouver, Seattle,
and then if
Portland,
you go a little bit farther, you've got San Francisco,
LA.
Sacramento, LA. Yeah, all of
San
that
Diego.
in a line.
Yep. All down the 5.
That's where I think half of the U.S. population lives on the West Coast, just about.
Good chunk of us. Yeah.
I think, if I remember right, it was, if you add the West Coast and the East Coast together, you have the same amount as the rest of the U.S.
Not surprising.
Yeah, not at all.
Yeah. Folks like to be near the coast.
Yeah. That's where jobs generally are.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's
shipping
shipping, and that's where all the mining of the golds and the and the oil as well in California. So yeah, not surprising. And then the East Coast, just because that's where everybody was planted.
That's where the seed of government started.
Right. So, anything else?
Sorry. No, I think I'm good.
You good?
I am.
Looking forward to season 10.
Very much.
Yeah.
Who would you like to talk to next season the most?
Oh my God. Well, I know I've talked to Evan Stern about talking to him, but we can't talk to him unless it's in person.
Yeah, which is fine.
Fine, Evan.
I'm gonna have to tell him that I want to put Roldy in my pocket, carry him around everywhere in person.
I even named my son after you.
A few years, just a few years after you were born. I mean, I actually don't know how old Evan Stern
I don't know. My son, who is now 18.
He's a big guy. He's a little tiny baby.
So yeah, I mean, God, who don't I want to talk to? I mean, I can think of, but anyway, you know what? I would, I'd love to. I really want to chat with Kenya Teo.
Yes. By the way, I looked it up. Evan would have been 13 when Evan was born.
So, see, I knew something was going to happen, and yeah, there you go. God. So yeah. Who else?
Yeah, I would love to talk to her because I want to know how she survived pregnancy, delivery, and infant during all of this.
Yeah. And everything else that she's been doing. I mean, she's
recording audiobooks.
Yep.
And she's been in a couple of
she was doing the thing about now I can't remember the name of it, the book
right. She was involved in
that book competition or whatever it was that they do up there, and I cannot remember what it is.
The second Here's This episode, you're gonna get a message about that.
Yep.
Okay.
Someone will mention it. Yep. Probably awesome.
Probably awesome.
Could be awesome. But yeah, I
mean, one day I would really love to talk to Kiso and but I think K-Trev, who was on the produce stand, I would really, really love to talk to him.
Mm-hmm.
Coach.
Jonathan Torrens, I think would be a hoot.
Be fun.
Yeah.
Follow him on Twitter.
Jonathan, definitely Coach. Because fuck, he's hilarious. Who else is there?
All of them.
You know what? Lisa Codrington, I think, would be amazing. That would be
a lot of fun.
I mean, because from everything that we've heard, she's the least like her character. Mm-hmm. So I mean, just kind of getting to know her as a person, as Lisa Codrington, I think would be awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, oh God, Alex McCooey, Jim Dickens. I would love to talk to Jim Dickens.
I think that's dangerous though, because I have talked some terrible things about that man.
You know what? Maybe I'll reach out to him. We'll see if we can. We'll see if we can get a betwixt the seasons interview.
Fantastic.
With the Jim Dickens. How's that
like
sound?
A telephone pole. That is what I said about him.
There you go. Well, I think you've said that about K. Trev as well.
I want to snuggle him. Like I feel like I would feel very safe and calm and comfortable.
He seems like he's a damn good guy and is very cuddly. Yeah. And I'm so happy for him and his fiance.
Absolutely. And she's adorable.
Yeah. They're an adorable couple. Yeah. And we need more adorable people like that. And people that are that's the thing I like about a lot of these characters that we run into is you can be masculine and still be soft.
Yes. Which is important to me because if you're not soft, we can't hang. I need that. I have to spend all day with a hard outer shell. I need to sink into something soft and comfortable after.
Yeah.
I got to.
Yeah. So yeah, there's and Dan and I can never get his last name right. I have to hear it pronounced. Dan Petrovich, McMurray. Melanie Scrofano. I mean, I would love to talk to her as well. I'm sure she would be very difficult.
Super famous now.
Yeah.
Winona Earp. Winona. Thank you. I'm like, it's the Mrs. Earp. What is it?
Yeah. I mean, I want to talk to all of them. You know what? I mean, jeez.
It would be really cool if we could figure something out for whenever Letterkenny Live does end up coming back through here, or even if like we go to multiple nights because Portland and Vancouver are super fucking close.
Yep.
So yeah.
Any of the characters or any of the actors characters that you're interested in that I haven't mentioned?
Dax and Ron.
Ooh, yeah.
I'd like that.
I would too. Yeah. I'll hit them up as well.
I don't think there is a single person who has been on that show that I wouldn't love to have a conversation with.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I think it would
even Angie.
I was thinking,
like, how
Angie,
different was it when you were in the first season and then you came again and like several seasons later, just for like a
and even the matchmaker.
Right? She's been in a couple episodes. Gay's mom.
Gay's mom
yes.
would be awesome.
Gay.
Gay, yeah. Jeez. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Gay. The gay sex was great.
It was so fucking perfect.
I think we should probably put a mustache on this pig or whatever it is.
That's totally what they say.
that's
whoever they are.
The well-known they. So
I mean, these days I think there's like 3 people that fit into the they category. Like there's only like 3 people. There's 3 people who made something like $400 billion in the pandemic, or something like that. Like, that's they.
Yeah,
that's the they right there.
Anyway. So go check us out on TikTok because we're gonna keep trying to do some TikToking things.
Yeah, I will learn it eventually.
And
Dean's actually pretty good already.
And go check out our other podcasts. I'm gonna start recording again with Don over at Podskure, and then we're also doing the Boondocks podcast.
Yes.
So definitely make sure you check that out.
Season 2.
Yeah, just started season 2. And
I'm sure we will come up with something else if Letterkenny takes a while. I mean, that's how Boondocks came about, really.
Yeah, true. So I mean, because we've talked about doing the Psych podcast for so long.
That is true, and I do love that show. Sure, if I can watch it now after having just watched Republic of Doyle, though, because they were really similar.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Anyway, check out our TikTok. Check out our TikTok on both of because we got the Boondocks TikTok and we've got the How Are You Now TikTok.
And technically, we have.
If you got Letterkenny stuff or something similar that you'd like us to duet or stitch with you, don't forget to tag us because we'll do it. We'll do the thing. And anyway, And yeah, we're still we're still going to do the cosplay stuff. So send us cosplay stuff, send us band stuff so that we'll be ready for the next season, all that stuff. We're going to be around even if Letterkenny's not active. So
yeah.
Anyway, so and we love hanging out with you and talking to you guys. So it's fun. And we're gonna try to be on the Letterkenny Discord even more, which is part of the Letterkenny subreddit, which I and Awesome are currently the only mods on.
Wow.
So yeah.
I guess if anyone out there wants to be a Reddit mod, let Dean know.
Yeah.
That's a big job for two of you.
Yeah. And it's mostly Awesome doing it. So.
True.
But she does it with aplomb and vigor, and I appreciate everything that she does on there. She's awesome about it, and that's why she's awesome. Literally. All right, guys. We will see you soon. I hope. And
what are we planning to leave?
We're gonna play. Just because we love them, we're gonna do finish up with a little Light the Lamp again. Fantastic. So. All right.
See y'all soon.
All right. Take care, guys.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks again for joining us for the season 9 recap and for joining us for the entire season. We love having you here. Again, send us emails, host@howareyounowpod.com or howareyounowpod@gmail.com. Check us out on Twitter. We're on Instagram. We're on TikTok. We're on Facebook. We're on all of them. Even Tumblr. We're out there. Go find us. We're going to be there and we'll talk to you. All right. Have a great rest of the time off between seasons and we'll talk to you soon. Take care.